And we had two of those this year, and that was disappointing when we lost Andrew Kopp to Winnipeg and Dylan Larkin to the Red Wings. You know, you can predict that that could happen, but it didn't have to happen, but it did in both cases. And we lost our hardest working player in Zach Hyman, and maybe our best player last year. And of course, he graduated and ended up signing with Toronto. But as a group, we lost our three hardest working players. And so that's going to be important that we instill the leadership from Kopp and Hyman and into this year's team, and the work ethic from all three of those players. And of course, they were three responsible players, but good offensive players as well. So a lot of people are concerned about where we're going to get our offense from. We lost, I don't know how many goals and points, Jeff would know, but it's like 130 or something. But I think we'll score more. I think we'll have more balanced scoring this year. And I like the emergence that I'm expecting from players like Alex Kyle, JT Compher, Tyler Mott, Boo Nieves, Selman, and in those guys in particular. And then with the incoming freshmen, I'm very confident that Kyle Connor is going to be an impact player. And I don't think Brendan Morin's going to be very far behind him. So I like the looks of the freshmen in the early going. I think we'll be deeper on defense. And I think with the two big right-handed defensemen coming in, Boca and Ciccone, we're going to have a lot more competition for playing and ice time. And I'm expecting our defense will be led by Michael Downing and Werenski. And of course, Werenski's only a sophomore, but he was an impact player as a freshman. And Michael Downing is coming into his own as a real forceful, physical defenseman. Big question mark is in goal every year. It's been that way for too long. And I like the fact that we've been able to have Steve Shields come in and place Josh Blackburn. And Blackburn has now got a job and a wife, and his life has changed, but might be coming back to school. But Shields will have the advantage in that he not only played at Michigan like Blackie did, and he was an All-American here, but he'll be able to be on the ice every day with our goalies, and I think that's something that'll be important. On the flip side, our goalies are more experienced now. Racine is a senior. They've both shown they can play well and that they can win, but they haven't played with enough consistency. And hopefully between their maturity and Shields' presence, they'll be better. We got a freshman goalie that will, I think, Chad Cat will come in and push those guys. And if there's any, it looks like, I think there will be more competition with Cat on the scene than we know right now. But he's going to push those guys every day. So I think we'll be better in goal. Well, I'd be disappointed if we weren't playing for first place in the league. And you know, I know everyone wants to play for first place, but you know, we were a game away, we were a shot away last year in our last game here against Michigan State, going for first place, and we want to be better this year. Well, I don't think anybody is really. If I had to send in a preseason poll, I mean, I would. You know, Minnesota's got expectations every year to be a good team. There's going to be a surprise team, whether it's a team like Penn State, they may have lost a lot, but they're continuing to get confident. Ohio State is due to have, you know, a breakout year. Michigan State's going to be good. Their goalie's as good as anybody in the conference, and Wisconsin will bounce back off a tough year last year. But Michigan was right there last year, and we should be right there this year. Well, I think JT's the kind of guy that wants to be a captain. Like he wants the responsibility, and he wants to make an impact on the team off the ice as well as on the ice. And I think he's going to be comfortable in that, and this will bring the best out in JT. I think Connor's you know, you hate to pigeonhole a kid, but he's a Dylan Larkin type player. Like, even though he's a winger, but he's a speedster. You'll notice him when he gets a puck, he can skate, he handles the puck well, and he can score. And And I've been really impressed with the kid so far, and he did it last year in the U.S. Hockey League. He not only led the league in scoring, but he was the player of the year. I mean, he was a real deal in that league, and when you come out of that league with that kind of momentum, you know, you're ready to play at this level.
Are you concerned about the pressure that he might feel to
No, I don't think so. No, he's not that kind of kid. He's you know, he'll be anxious to play, but I don't think he's going to be wired too tight. I think he's confident. He's coming in with confidence and momentum. Physically, he's stronger than he was. You know, he's one of those kids. He played 3 years in that league. He played as a 16-year-old, and he was just a skin and bones when he started. But he's a wiry kid. He's a little bit like Dylan. He's wiry. He's wiry, strong. He's just going to get stronger the longer he's here. Well, I think you can ask Zach. I don't know if there was a big decision to be made. Like, he knew he'd be drafted and fairly high. And I think his intention was to come back all along, no matter what. And so I'm not surprised that he's back. I think that was his intention. I don't think he thought he was, you know, whether it's emotionally ready or this was the right time to leave Michigan or to turn pro, no matter who drafted him. So you can ask him about that.
How much do you think he's going to benefit from a regular off season? Last year he had to deal with classes. And
yeah, I think it already looks like it's benefited him, and so I think it's been good, really good for him. So he'll get he came in and was an impact player last year, even though he went to school all summer. But this summer he's going to be more ready to live up to the expectations that he's built for himself now. And I think there's a trend that the teams, they want to develop their players the way they want to develop them, and they want to control them. So they signed. I mean, it's sad to say, but if Zach Werenski would have signed with Columbus, there was a possibility they would have sent him to London. Well, you know, that's their decision, but I think we are on the flip side. I'm not going to argue with what the pros are doing, but I would just say that I think we're doing an excellent job of developing players at the Division I level. And it's not just schools like Michigan, but there are a lot of so-called no-name schools that are developing good players. And we saw it years ago with Chris Kunitz going to Ferris State and emerging as the best player in our league, and then stepping into the NHL 2 years later and having a great career. And we've had players out of Bowling Green and Miami of Ohio, and you name it, around the CCHA in Lake Superior and Northern Michigan. And so I think Division I hockey has done a good job of developing players, but the pros want them younger, whether they're afraid of losing them, like they lost Zach Hyman and they lost the kid from Minnesota, the defenseman.